Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Biju sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Miss Malati, Miss
Good evening,
Amira.
sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, yeah. So
Good
let's
evening.
start, I think.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Pretty
Thank you, sir.
audible. I think Biju sir will share a video to introduce the moderator.
Mrs. Malati Karthikeyan is an accomplished educator with an MA and Master of Education in Education from Nisi College of Education, Chennai. She has held leadership roles, including captain of the economics department and vice principal of a CBSE school. Awarded Best Learning Moments Creator by Cambridge University, she is also certified in primary classroom teaching and phonics training. With over a decade of experience, she is currently an early years consultant in Chennai, dedicated to enhancing early childhood education. Hearty welcome, Ms. Malati. Please proceed.
Thank you so much for your warm introduction, sir. So let's dive into the sessions. A very good evening, everyone. Greetings from the Extra Mile Education and Training. Extra Mile is an exclusive platform created by the founder of BTech, Dr. Abdul Salam, for providing an online-offline training. Having a pool of resource persons, Extra Mile is resourceful to provide on-site training on demand across India. Before we begin, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Abdul Salam and Extra Mile Education and Training for giving me this wonderful opportunity. A hearty welcome to all the participants as we will embark together to this fruitful journey in the sessions, focusing on the design thinking for enhancing the critical thinking and problem solving for the students. Continuing with this plethora of endeavors, BTAG and the Extra Mile Education and Training, along with his remarkably talented resource person, Ms. Amira Ansari, will seek to provide valuable inputs in this sessions. Let you know about this topic, today's topic, design thinking for enhancing critical thinking and problem solving skills. Design thinking is a dynamic, student-centered approach to problem solving that can significantly enhance critical thinking and creativity in the classroom. As educators, one of our key role is to prepare the students not just to observe the knowledge, but to apply it in a real world context. Design thinking empowers the students to do just that by guiding them through the process of empathy, ideation, prototyping, and testing. By incorporating design thinking into the teaching practices, educators can help the students become more engaged, curious, and capable learners. The goal is to equip the teachers with the tools to create a learning environment that nurtures these essential skills, empowering students to approach the challenge with confidence and creativity. So before we begin into the today's sessions, I would like to deliver the general instructions to all the participants over here. The first instructions, any query during the sessions can be conveyed through the meeting chat box. And in order to the second instruction is, in order to have an interactive experience, you may clear your doubts by asking a questions in this chat box. Kindly use the hand raise button and wait for your name to be called out for asking your query. The third instruction is the participants will have the opportunity to receive the certificate only after filling up the certificate and the feedback form. The link for which will be shared at the end of the sessions. Kindly stay connected till the end of the sessions. So let's move on to the sessions. Now let me introduce our esteemed speaker for the evening. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Abdul Salam, a renowned CBSE resource person and master trainer who has played a significant role in the education sector as an assessor for the National Accreditation Board for Education and Training under the Government of India. Dr. Salam is a founder and CEO of Extra Mile Education and Training and Bharat Transformers Academic Group. Sir, it is indeed our pleasure to have your gracious presence. I kindly invite you to deliver the welcome address. Please, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Hearty welcome, everybody. Respected resource person of today, Miss Amira and Miss Malati as moderator. My dear brother, Mr. BGS Pillai, and all educators who have joined for this special topic, which everybody is not taking care of. It is nothing to do with a kind of designing or anything, but it has to do with the problem-solving nature of things. As NEP, we have been trying to do our best to materialize the goals of NEP, providing lots of suggested topics by NEP. This is not something that is that can be ignored. So this is not something that is a kind of theory in paper, but this is something that is to be in action. When schools have a lot of issues within the school itself, there may be a lot of issues like unused land or different corners of the school which are not used, or pesters by so many other creatures. These things all, or the neighboring problems in the neighboring places, all these can be brought to the attention of students, and students will sit together and ideate, and they will design a solution to the existing problem. So this can be done by all the schools so that it inculcates a lot of learning in them, lot of sharing through discussion, through collaboration, and it enhances their 21st century skills, especially critical thinking and problem solving skills. So let us take away so many ideas from Miss Amira today. Let us implement it at school level so that there can be solution to endless problems, and also you can bring in innovation in your school. So thank you so much for joining. Let's lend our ears to the resource person today. Thank you, everybody. Over to the moderator. Thank you.
So thank you, Salam, sir, for the warm introduction, setting the stage for today's discussions. Let me introduce, ladies and gentlemen. Amidst we also have Mr. Biju S. Pillai. He is the co-founder of BTAC and has a vast experience in the field of education's many capacities, including being the principal of many reputed CBSE schools. Sir, we are honored to have your gracious presence amidst us. I request Mr. Biju S. Pillai to felicitate the gathering with his kind words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Malati ma'am. Most respected Director Dr. Abdul Salam sir, today's resource person Amira Ansari, and all other respected educationists throughout the world. A wonderful evening today. So actually gone are the days where the bookish knowledge has to be explained by the teacher. Now, according to the present situation or the present scenario, educational scenario, the role of a teacher has got much importance, like given preparing decision makings, encourage curiosity in the children, making critical thinking, evaluate informations, analytical thinking. Actually, these all improves the child to build confidence, promote creativity, to do teamwork, which gives them more independence, ultimately enhance academic success. You might have seen in the YouTube and all in Chennai, lower classes are like 9th and 10th children. They have designed a engine, motorbike engine using seawater. So these are all the critical thinking or the analytical thinking while the children get more opportunities. So academic success is the most important, and this particular topic has got a major role to play. So let us listen how critical thinking and problem solving can be improved in the classroom situation. how it can be merged. Let us hear from the resource person Amira Ansari and gain more knowledge by today evening. So once again, I welcome all the educationists to this wonderful gathering. Thank you, Remain. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. So, dear educators, now we shall proceed to the highlight of today's webinar. Today's amidst, as we have Ms. Amira Ansari, a resource person for today's session, a seasoned educator with over 12 years of dynamic experience in teaching over Polytechnic Engineering College, currently serving as the head of computer science and PGT at SBKM CBSE School, Dhule. She holds a master's in computer science engineering and a B.Ed qualifications. She also a certified assessor of Quality Council of India, National Aggregation Board of Education and Training, overseeing school aggregation process and have successfully coordinated the aggregation efforts since 2019. Her dedication extends to fostering innovation as evidenced by her involvement in patent applications for student-led projects related to microbit coding, one of which was selected for the National CBSE Skill Expo. She brings a wealth of experience in educational administration and a commitment to advancing knowledge management in Indian schools, as demonstrated through her research, publications in international journals, and achievements as a school innovation ambassador. Ma'am, it is indeed a pleasure to have you amongst us as a speaker for today's session of design thinking for enhancing critical thinking and problem solving skill. On behalf of everyone present here, I wholeheartedly welcome you and I'm requesting you to take over the proceedings for this evening. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there?
Yeah. A very good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
A very good evening to all the educators present here. Today we are going to embark on a journey into the world of design thinking. So design thinking is a powerful approach that not only fuels creativity, but also sharpens the critical thinking and problem solving skills. As educators, we constantly seek new ways to engage the students in our classroom and foster innovative thinking in them. So design thinking provides an innovative method. It is also a structured and a flexible framework so that we can enhance the critical thinking and problem solving skills of the students. So without wasting much of the time, let's dive in and unlock the potential of design thinking in our educational journey. So to begin with, we are having two approaches to problem solving. The first approach is the problem-oriented approach, and the second one is the solution-oriented approach. So I would like all the educators present here to put some light on both the approaches, like what it comes to your mind when you hear of these two approaches.
Miss Malati, you can read what is there in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Participant, please drop your messages over here. What is your point of view on the problem-oriented approach and solve? Please go ahead.
Yeah, even if the participants can raise their hand and share their
Yes.
views regarding the problem-oriented approach and the solution-oriented approach.
Yes.
So what comes to your mind when you hear of these two approaches? Like when you hear about problem-oriented, the focus lies in what aspects? And when you hear of solution-oriented, the focus lies in what aspects?
No questions?
Yeah, I think Vimla ma'am has stated that problem-oriented focus only on the problem.
Problem.
Yeah, that's right. Anyone else would like to put some light on it?
real world challenges. Preeti
Preeti
and
ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Preeti ma'am has stated that problem-oriented focuses on real-world challenges. Yeah, again, one more reply from Shri Vidya ma'am. Solution-oriented approach will make us to think about the solution. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, R. Joseph has replied that solution to a problem. Yeah, very well said, everyone. So now the next question that I would like to put to the audience is, which approach would you choose and why? And when we're talking about the problem-oriented approach, the focus lies on the obstacles and the limitations. And it's about saying, I wish I could do the thing X, but I cannot do because of the problem Z. So this is regarding the problem-oriented approach. And we talk about the solution-oriented approach, it always looks to work around. And it is always about asking like, how can I work around Z so that I can do X? So which approach would you choose and why from the audience?
Yes. Audience, please. Sonia Sharma. Sonia Sharma, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, Sharma ma'am, very well said. I would go for solution-oriented approach. Then from Cindy ma'am, solution-oriented as it helps to find tangible solutions that would help the students. Yeah, of course, solution-oriented. So I think most of us are agreeing that we would go with the solution-oriented approach. Instead of looking out for the problems to do something, we should rather look on for solutions, how we can overcome the shortcomings or the challenges. So now let us reflect on the given picture. When we are talking about a problem, we think of why this problem has occurred. And if this problem has occurred, oh my God, if this problem has occurred, it would cause this threat. This can be, like it builds up a negative thinking and it takes us to the past, and there is no growth when we are only focusing on the problem. But rather than if you're focusing on the solution, our approach is like how I can overcome and what opportunities do I have. We list out the opportunities and there is a positive approach and we move on towards the future. That is, we move on towards the success and growth. So now when we are talking about the problem focus and the solution focus, if we are focusing on the problem, like what is wrong, what needs fixing, we blame and there is always a control. Then it causes in the past. And even the expert knows the best. The best answer is the experts would know. Then again, there are many deficits and weaknesses. Again, there are complications and definitions. But as compared to it, when we are having a solution focus, then the things like what is wanted to be done. Okay, the problem has occurred, fine. But now let us think of the solution. So what is wanted? What working is to be required? How can we progress and move on with some good solution? What would be the influence if we are choosing, suppose say solution X for the problem? Then again, it focuses on collaboration to solve the problem. Again, the resources and strength, like what resources and strength are we having to overcome the problem? Again, how we can make it simple and what actions can be done to overcome the problem. So this is about the solution oriented approach. And when we are talking about the design thinking, it is a creative problem solving approach. So as educators, we can bring in this concept to the classroom. And design thinking is both an ideology and the process which is concerned to solving the complex problems in a highly user-centric way. So there is a defined method by which we can implement this. And also it is an approach which can be used for practical as well as creative problem solving skills. And when we talk about design thinking in education, even in the classroom has exploded in the last few years. It can be used to improve the educational experiences of the students, and also we can teach them about how to think the world and all the problems that are occurring in the world in different ways, and how we can overcome the problems with innovative solutions. So this would be about design thinking. So now when we talk about design thinking, a new concept comes over here, that is designing for emotion. So whenever we are designing, we should consider what we want people to feel. See, whenever we are finding out a solution for something, the emotional aspect has a very high value. Don't you agree, everyone? Whenever there is any problem, we are finding out the solution. The end thing is we consider about the emotion quotient, or the emotion, the value of emotion is having a very high aspect over here. So I would like to demonstrate, I would like to present over here a short film by Apple, who have demonstrated their attention to detail, how we can focus on creating an emotional impact when we are finding out some solution. Is my screen visible to everyone?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
You have to play. The screen is there, but your video is not played, ma'am. Only the PPT screen is there.
Yeah.
And now it's clear. Yeah, ma'am.
So this is a short video by Apple.
Audio is not there. Please share audio.
Or share audio.
So this was a small video by Apple, and it like it says that before designing, we should focus on the emotional aspect. Do you agree with everyone? And what was the best thing about the video? Would anyone like to share it with us? What was the best thing about this video?
Audience, you can raise your hand and you can share your thoughts about the video. What you have understand, or you can share your thoughts about that video in your point of view. What do you have understood? Please share your thoughts by giving a raise your hands, or you can type it in the chat box.
Yeah, Miss Anju has typed about the focus. Yeah, very well said. Then again, we have catering to the individual. Catering to the individual over the mass. Yeah, very well said. Yeah, individual satisfaction should be there. There are 1,000 no behind every yes. Yeah, it is focus as a concept. Very good. Focus on the ideas. We can restart whenever we want. Yeah, very well said. So whenever we are designing, the first thing we should have in our mind is how would the people feel when they are going to use something, or if we have found a solution for some problem, how would the people feel? That is the first thing that should come to our mind, and that is what is called as empathy. Do you agree with me? Yeah, it is about everyone's feeling, right? So let us understand what is design thinking. So it focuses on people. Design thinking is about deeply understanding the needs of the people and experiences. And as we saw in the video, what are the needs of the people, how would the people feel, and what experience they would get. Again, we can also define it as a problem solving approach, a step-by-step process to tackle the complex problem, and we can find out some innovative solution for that. And the third thing, that is empathetic. Designers using this approach try to deeply understand the people whom they are designing for. This is the very important aspect of design thinking, to deeply understand the people for whom we are designing. Then again, we can say that it is an experimental approach. That is, design thinking encourages to trying out ideas quickly and making changes based on what feedback we are getting from the user, because in design thinking, our focus is on a person and not people. So that is the thing. Again, it is a collaborative approach. The process involves working together in multidisciplinary teams and along with the stakeholders. So that is also a collaborative approach. So the design thinking process involves 5 steps. The first step is empathy, that is to understand the needs of the people whom we are designing the solution. Then the second step is to define the problem and what opportunities are there to design the solutions. Again, the third step is to ideate, that is generate and visualize the creative ideas. Whatever solutions we have found out, we are going to visualize it. Again, prototype, we have to develop some prototypes of the solutions. Again, testing, that is testing the solutions and seeking the feedback from the person or the people. So there are 5 steps to design thinking: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. And after that, if the user is not satisfied, we are going to repeat these steps. Again, we would move on to the ideate process. From there, we would be repeating the steps. So let us think of an example, like for design thinking, a birthday cake. As we all know that when we talk about the birthday, the very major aspect it involves is the emotional aspect. And when we talk about the birthday cake, again, it has a high rate of emotion in it. We are very choosy to select the birthday cake for our loved ones, isn't it? So the first step when we are talking about empathize is, that is the first stage in design thinking process, to empathize with our end user. For example, if we are talking about the birthday cake, the end user would be the person who would be enjoying the cake. Of course, it can be family members, friends, and the person whose birthday we are celebrating. And empathy is central to the human-centered approach. That is, we are always seeking to understand what are the needs and requirements of the end user. Now, for example, when we choose the birthday cake, we have so many aspects in that. The very first aspect, can anyone share me what are the aspects when we are choosing the birthday cake for our loved ones? What do we think when we bake a cake at home, or when we go to a cake shop and we bring a cake? What comes to our mind? Yeah, very well said. Flavor, occasion, and the choice. Very well said. Yeah. Yeah, very good. The theme. You know, when we celebrate the birthday of our of some child or children, then the theme plays a very important aspect, isn't it? Yeah, along with the theme, we are having flavor. Like, for example, if the child is very much oriented to superheroes or Barbie dolls or cars or guitars, yeah, again, we are having taste and preferences. Yeah, very well said. So all these aspects we keep in our mind when we choose the birthday cake. So the ways in which we can empathize with our end user or the cake eater is, the first step is engage. So we can understand the needs by speaking to them in conversations, and we might conduct a simple interview for that or a survey for that. Again, the second step is to observe. We might also watch our user and their daily interactions. Like, for example, We ask them to keep a food diary, and this may help us to see what taste they have, and if there are any foods or flavors they are avoiding or they do not like. Again, watch and listen. We may combine a conversation, for example, asking the user to make a favorite recipe and talk us through the process. This is also a way in which we can empathize with the end user. Then the second step is to define. After getting the knowledge of the requirement, that is the end user loves which type of cake, which flavors, which shape, or which theme. After getting all that knowledge, we are going to define. So in this stage, what is done is, like, we are going to create a personas. For example, we may write a summarized description of the end user for whom we are designing the cake, including what is their personality, their needs, their motivations, like and dislike. And if we have surveyed many people, we may use several people's responses. And again, we can write it briefly in the form of a project brief, that is whatever findings we have recorded. For example, if the user does not like a sponge cake, so we are now, we have a defined version that what kind of cheesecake should we make if we are not making a sponge cake. Then the next step is to ideate. Ideate, that this word comes from the, ideate comes from the word idea. And in this stage, we are going to create ideas that would meet to the needs of the user, whatever we have recorded in the previous stage. And this stage is also a fun part where we have quick and rapid ideation sessions. For example, inspiration. So we might use Pinterest to look for the cake ideas that would fit for a brief. We start doing our research work over here, and we generate some ideas which would satisfy the person who is going to consume the cake. Again, the mood boards are there. We create a mood board showcasing all the personas' favorite flavors, and we can mix them and match and make some new combinations. That is also a very good approach for that. Then the next step is the prototype. In prototype, this is a visual or a demonstrative approach over here, like a mock-up of the service. The ways in which we might choose the prototype for a cake design is, we can choose any 3 cake ideas, then we can draw up some visual representation of the designs along with the recipe and what would be the flavor. Then the next step is also, we can bake 2 small versions of the cake. So we can show it to our end user whether they are liking, and we can take the reviews from them. Or we can even create 3D versions of the cake design using card and paper and the ingredients around each prototype. Then the next step is the testing. So we are going to test our prototype, so with the end users. So whatever designs we have created, we would share it with the end user, and we would take a feedback from them. So how we can record our testing is a feedback survey. So users want to remain anonymous, so we can even ask them to complete an online survey kind of thing. Or even we can record our testing like giving marks out of 10. A rating can be given for each cake type, and whichever cake receives the highest rating, we would choose that design. Even a conversational analysis can be done, like we can ask a face-to-face conversation with the users of the prototype, and accordingly we can make changes, or we can finalize the design if it is liked by the end user. So we have cupcake, we have birthday cakes, and a wedding cake. So the things that matter are the experience, the ideas, and the capabilities, right? So everyone, I request everyone to quickly get ready with your paper and pen, because we would dive into this process, and we would actually do the process how we can design a birthday cake using design thinking. So I request everyone to please be ready with a paper and pen. So the first step is to empathize. So when we want to empathize, it means that we want to understand the feelings or the emotions of the end user for whom we are designing the cake. So the things that matter over here are the favorite flavors. So we can ask the user, what are your favorite cake flavors? Then the next point that comes to our mind is the allergies. we can ask about any food allergies if the person is having. Then again, the past experiences also matter over here, because what cakes have you had in the past that created a memorable experience? So when we are talking about the birthday, of course, it is a memory. And the birthday cake always creates a memorable experience, right? So even the audience, like who else would be eating the cake? So this is done to find out what are the needs for the birthday cake by interviewing the end user, and the end user can be the person enjoying the cake. Then the next step is to define. So over here, I would quickly like the audience to just note down the answers for these 4 points over here in your paper. Like you can consider any one person, like it could be your child or a student or your friend for whom you are designing a cake. And what are the favorite flavors? You can just jot down randomly the answers, or you can think of it if you are already aware of it. What are the allergies? Past experiences. Past experiences can be like, in my previous birthday I had a guitar cake and it is really memorable to me. That is a past experience. And audience, like who else will be eating the cake? So I request everyone to quickly jot down a few points related to these. Then the next step is the define. So over here, what we are going to do is we are going to create a persona. Persona would be including is the name and age of the person whose birthday we are going to celebrate. Then what are the birthday plans? Like I am creating a birthday cake for my daughter. Her age is say 10 years old. Then the birthday plan, I am going to organize a very big birthday party where all her school friends would be invited, along with all my family relatives and school teachers. So that are my birthday plans. I request everyone to please write down the answers for these on your paper. Then a backstory would be like, um, a very memorable experience for my daughter is her 5th birthday, because she loves Barbie dolls, and we had bought a Barbie cake for her. This could be a backstory. So the backstory can be having a positive emotion or a negative emotion. For example, on her 6th birthday, we had ordered a fruit cake, but she did not enjoy it much. So the backstory can have positive as well as a negative aspect over here. Then again, hobbies. For example, say what is the hobby of my daughter? I can list out over here. She likes to play guitar. She likes to play with Barbie doll. So all these hobbies that would impact the selection of the cake, we can write over here. Again, the cakes. Like what type of cakes are liked by her, I can think of. Like if I am ordering a fruit cake, but in my family member, 5 people do not like a fruit cake. So I can just list out that as well. So those people would not be satisfied if I'm ordering a fruit cake. So I can think of some flavor that would be liked by them as well as my daughter. So these things we are going to record. I hope you all are with me on this slide. Then the next one is, what are the needs? Like the cake should be of 5 kg, or the needs are like the cake would be consumed by 500 people. It should be square, circular, the shape, or it should be layered or non-layered. These needs we are going to specify. Again, allergies. Like if I'm inviting so many people, is anyone allergic to say like some kind of fruit or cinnamon or some other flavor? If someone is allergic to, then who would be the guests? As we discussed earlier, the friends, the families, the relatives, again, the school teachers. Then what are the likes and the dislikes? So we would be recording the likes and the dislikes as well. The likes could be like, majorly the party would be attended by the students, and the students are very much attached to superheroes or Barbie dolls. So these can be the likes. And when I'm talking about the dislikes, like children are more like attracted towards chocolate cakes, and the dislike would be the fruit cake. Like if maximum children are going to attend the party and they are oriented towards chocolate cake. Okay. And any additional information that would be required over here, we can jot down over here is like the cake should be only 2-layered and not 3-layered, or some other information or additional requirement what is there, we can jot down over here. Again, the next step, that is the third step, is after ideate. So now in empathize, we have got the emotional aspect of the end user. Then in define, we have collected the requirements regarding the cake that we are going to design or we are going to get designed by someone. And now the next step is to ideate. So now we have recorded the things, and let us see a persona over here. Suppose the name and age I'm talking about is Lewis. He would be 28 on his birthday. And what are the birthday plans of Lewis? A low-key afternoon tea with snacks. That are his plans. Then regarding the backstory is Lewis lives in North London. He travels to work in London Bridge every day. He eats a cinnamon roll most morning with a black coffee. He is quiet and bookish and has been like dating, and he also has a Shakespeare theater group. Okay, so this is the backstory of Lewis, because we are designing a birthday cake of him. And then again, what are his hobbies, right? So Shakespeare, from the backstory, we have understood the hobbies of Lewis. His hobbies are reading Shakespeare book, fixing the things, then motorbikes, then beach walks when he can get out of London. Again, the cakes, he likes all types of cakes. He eats a cinnamon roll the most because he enjoys the cinnamon flavor. Again, he enjoys ice cream at a beach. So if we can give a touch of ice cream to the cake. Then what are the needs? He is not fussy, happy to go with the flow. Such kind of needs we can record. Again, allergies, he is not allergic to anything. Now, who would be the guest, right? The grandparents, his friend who eats raisins, brothers, parents, right? Again, the next is what are the likings? All the sweet things and has a very sweet tooth. These are the likings. And dislike is seafood, lettuce, and oranges. So from here, we come to know that we are not going to include any orange flavor or orange as a fruit in the cake. Again, additional information is Simon categorically, he hates raisins. So again, we are going to avoid raisin when we are going to design the birthday cake. So then after creating the persona, we are going to create a brief summary. This summary focusing on the design related to the information of the design. Okay. Then in the next step, we are having a rapid fire ideas. Rapid fire ideas means after we are having all the information of the person for whom we are designing the cake, whatever ideas are coming to our mind, like I can design a cake including ice cream. I'm not going to include raisin. A cake, I'm not going to include orange. Then what are the ideas that are coming to my mind? So if I get 10 ideas, rapid fire ideas, I'm going to record all the 10 ideas in this step. After that is how do we select the best ideas? So we are already having the idea vault and we have 10 ideas, but now we are confused to how to select the best one from that, from our vault. So what we can do is how we can select the best idea. So the first step is what is your project brief? So we are designing a cake for Lewis' birthday. Which cake should we make or buy for him? Yeah, and them, and so that the guest will enjoy the most. So our persona is, for example, I'm designing a birthday cake for my daughter, and which cake should I buy for her, and so that the guest will enjoy the most. So ideas, if I'm having 5 or 10 ideas, I will list out all the ideas that are there. So if the first one is she is more attached with her guitar, then first idea is I can have a guitar cake. As the party is for children, children love chocolate. So it could be a chocolate flavored guitar cake. So all the ideas we are going to jot down. And we will select the first idea. Okay, and random any first idea we will be selecting. And then we will ask the question is, does it answer our defined question in the project brief? So whatever project brief we have written, does it answer all the questions in that? So we are having 2 options, yes or no. So if the answer is yes, we can move to the next round. If the answer is no, it means the cake is not for the concerned person. So we should move on to the next idea. Now, In round 2, is this cake idea exciting to you? So do you feel inspired and energized by this idea? Then other question is, has this been done before? Do I feel very overwhelmed by doing this? Again, yes or no. If the answer is yes, we can move on to the next round. If no, we will again go to the vault and select the next idea. Again, in round 4, will everyone enjoy it? The most important question. Then will we need to amend it for taste allergies? Yes, if we are talking about Lewis, we need to amend it because some person is allergic to raisins and some person is allergic to orange. Lewis himself does not likes oranges. So again, we are going to not choose this idea. We will again go to the idea vault and take up the next idea. So if we are answering yes, we have a winning idea. If no, again, we'll go to the vault and select the next idea. So we have the shortlisted winning ideas. Suppose from 10 of my ideas, 3 ideas are shortlisted, which are satisfying all the questions that are mentioned in the project of in the idea project of the persona. So now rest of the ideas can be in the vault and we can use it later on. So now the next type is about the prototype. So we have selected the 3 best ideas, idea 1, 2, and 3. These are the shortlisted ideas. And now we are going to build a prototype, that is a small visual or a 3D look of how the cake would look. So 3 of our cake designs can be prototyped. So we can we can either draw or we can create a small representative of the actual cake that we would be doing, or we can create a 3D view and we can list out the flavor or everything. So for each prototype, we can give 10 minutes and we can either draw or we can create online design, 3D design. It is up to us, okay, whichever method we choose. Then again, we can give a name to the cake, what ingredients we are going to use, which baking method we are going to use, and how would be the presentation. Of course, when we talk about presentation, again, it is having a very big emotional aspect that is concerned with it. The presentation should be very good. So we can draw like this. A visual representation of the cake is given over here. Then again, the next point is the testing. So in testing, what we are going to do is we will gather the feedback from few of the users, like the nearest relatives, okay, or the person whom we are designing. So we can gather feedback about the ingredients, about the baking method, and as well as the presentation. So suppose this is the final cake design that has been selected. Fresh raspberries, so we have avoided orange. Then we have taken chocolate biscuit base and the vanilla cream, which would give a touch of the ice cream because Lewis has a sweet tooth and he loves to eat ice cream. So again, we will be defining the ingredients, baking methods, and presentation. So this was about the cake, but this example was taken so that we can understand the process very easily. Okay. So now we are going to use this process and we are going to implement this design thinking in our classroom to solve the real world problems along with our students. So when we talk about design thinking in action, I would like to share a short video from Forbes primary school students from Australia who have solved a problem of identical school bag using 3D printing. Now let us see this video. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Our bags are all the same. Bags go missing. Bags and tags get mixed up. We keep mixing up our bags. We discussed possible solutions to the problem in groups. We came up with lots of ideas. We discussed our ideas and voted on our favorites. We discussed the good points and bad points of each idea. We chose the best ideas. Our idea used Maker's Empire to design our own 3D bag tag. We worked out what we wanted as design feature. We decided it needed to be strong, have a loop to attach it with, be between 5 and 7 centimeters long, mean something special to you. We worked together to practice using Maker's Empire. We helped each other. We taught each other what we learned. We printed some practice designs. It was fun to watch it working. We discussed what worked well, what needed improvement, and gave feedback to each other. We worked really hard on our final designs. We tried to make sure we used all the design features. When we were sure we had it right, we printed our bag tags. We added some color to our design. We evaluated how we went. Our idea worked. Now we never mix up our bags. What we learned.
So this video was about the Forbes Primary School from Australia, who had developed tags for the bags. They have also implemented this by using the design thinking procedure. So now in the end, we saw that students they collaborated together. They found out what was the problem. They came up with solution, and again, they developed their designs. They created it in a colorful manner. Again, after that, they tested it. And so how did the students in the video use design thinking? When we talk about that is developing the criteria. The students work together to develop and agree on the criteria for their designs. Again, selecting the tools and the materials, the students selected the appropriate tools that was age appropriate. Okay, so what the students can use. So Maker's Empire is a very child-friendly online tool which helps for 3D designing and printing. So using that, they brought the designs to life. Even the testing, students tested their design, gave feedbacks to each other, and assessed whether their designs are working or not, and whatever solution they have developed, is it solving out their problem. So now, what are the ways to begin using design thinking with your class? So how we can start using design thinking in our classroom? So the first method is we can encourage the students to create the bug list. So now, to shift the mindset, the first point is we have to shift the mindset of the student. So instead of complaining, what we can teach is we can ask them, how can I improve this situation? As soon as we enter the class, students start complaining, ma'am, this is happening, ma'am, that is happening. So instead of listening to the complaint, what we can change their mindset is, okay, so this is the complaint or this is the problem. Now you all tell me how we can improve this situation. So what will happen is we can identify so many opportunities, so many students in the class, and we will get very good solutions from each one of them, very innovative solutions. So what we can do is, then a bug list is what simply a list of things that are annoying the students and the teachers in the class. And what we can do is the goal of becoming more mindful about the world that is around us. So now the students will change the mindset. Instead of focusing on problem, now what they will do, okay, so this is the problem, constantly they will think of solutions. So what we are doing, we are changing their mindset. And first they were focusing, following the problem oriented approach. Now we are shifting their mindset to solution oriented approach. So this is the very first method. And then even the collaborative approach. So after individual finding out the solution, again, we can shift their thinking to have some collaborative bug list. So they can come in groups and find out very good ideas by collaborating with their peers. Then the second method is using the fairy tales to teach empathy. For example, when we talk about the literature class or the English class, so literature and read alouds are very great mechanism. So what we can do is we can empathize with the characters of the story. If we are teaching a story to the students, like in most of the fairy tales, the character has a problem. So whatever is the problem and the character, we will hold up with that and we can teach empathy to the students. So once the students are able to empathize with the character, what they can do is they can begin to designing the prototype and finding out the solutions. For example, if we take a very simple rhyme of Humpty Dumpty. So what challenge we can give them is how can we stop Humpty Dumpty from falling off the wall? So what will happen is students will start thinking critically, and they will try to give us innovative solutions. So I would like to pose these questions to the audience. Like if I ask you, how can we stop Humpty Dumpty from falling off the wall? Let us see how many innovative answers we get from the audience. So you all can type, you all can type in the chat box, or you can raise your hands to share your answers. I repeat my question. If we are talking about Humpty Dumpty, so a design challenge to all the educators over here. How can we stop Humpty Dumpty from falling off the wall? What are your innovative solutions? Okay, so Sonia ma'am has answered that we can place we will make them sit on the floor. Very good. Then Mr. Ankit Kumar, very good. We can place a mattress over here. Very good. Again, carefully designing a mattress that is carefully designed for egg. Yeah. Again, Mr. Mahesh has answered a broader base. Yeah, very well. Again, someone has said he should not sit on the wall. We can make a fiber dress, a safety net, a safety gear. See, here itself, when we are starting to think, we are getting so many innovative answers over here. Even, don't you think that this will enhance the critical thinking of the students if we are posting questions like this? Again, when we talk about the second story, that is Goldilocks and the Three Bears, then what design challenge we can give is, how might we design a just chair for Goldilocks? So anyone from the audience, how can we design a just chair for Goldilocks? From the story Goldilocks and the Three Bears, a design challenge towards all the educators over here. How can we design a just chair for Goldilocks?
Participants, you can share your answers in the chat box also. Or else you can raise your hand and you can share your answers.
Yeah, with Miss Gayatri ma'am has told with golden color. Yeah, so what students will focus is why Goldilocks was not satisfied. So all those not unsatisfactory reasons, they can just collect and they can design a just chair for Goldilocks. And a very good answer by Preeti ma'am, adjustable size. Very well said. Again, a girly chair, a very good answer. Yeah, very nice. Then when we talk about the story, The Three Little Pigs, even we can pose the design challenge question to our students is, how can we design a house that the big bad wolf is not able to blow down? Anyone from all the audience over here, the educators present here, how we can design a house that the big bad wolf is not able to blow down in the story The Three Little Pigs? Anyone would like to raise hand and answer to this question? Or you can even type your answers in the chat box. Preeti ma'am has answered with cement and bricks. Very good. Even Rafia ma'am has answered building a permanent house. Very well said. With again Gayatri ma'am with strong bricks. Yeah. Again, we have an answer. Three Little Pigs need a house that can provide safety and stability, withstand external pressure. Yeah, again, Mr. Ankit has answered designing it V-shaped. See, so many innovative solutions we are getting. So don't you think this would be fun if we are posting such type of questions to our students in the class? Yeah, it would definitely be very interesting. Then if the next method by which we can implement design thinking in the class is designing for someone else. Now shifting the perspective. When we talk about the students are very egocentric. They are only focused about themselves. For them, their world is only, they are only there in their world, and it is all about me for them. And so what we can do is we can shift this perspective by engaging them in designing for someone else. For example, in prototype and iterate, we can pair up the students, like we can pair the students and the
Excuse me,
students.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your video is off, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
So what we can do is we can shift the perspective, we can pair up the students. The students can interview each other. Like if we give them a problem of designing a backpack for the partner. So what questions they can ask when they are in the first stage, that is they are empathizing. Okay, so how to understand the needs. So what do you like about your backpack? What would you like to change about it? What would make it the perfect backpack for you? So students can ask such type of questions to their partners and they can jot down the answers. And what they can do is they can ideate, and then they can use this information to identify any changes needed, and then they can develop a new prototype or a new version for their friend. Don't you think the children will be very happy to do this exercise in the class? They will feel so happy. Even when the student is doing, he will feel happy that I have designed a new backpack for my friend, and even the friend will feel happy that so and so person has designed a new backpack design for me. So they will feel so proud of themselves. So again, when we talk about design thinking for some common problem in school, like if we ask them reducing the school waste. So again, we have 5 steps over here: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So in empathize, what we can ask them is they can visit the various parts of the school and they can observe where the waste is generated, how the disposal process is taking place. Then again, they can survey to the students and staff about their habits. Then in the second step that is defined, they can identify the most significant sources of waste, such as single-use plastics or paper usage. Then again in ideate, they can come up with ideas like recycling education campaigns to be organized, or installing some recycling bins, or a digital submission system to reduce some paper usage. Then again in prototype, they can launch a small-scale recycling campaign. Okay, then again in testing, they can also monitor that after this campaign, whether the waste level has reduced in the school or not. That can be done in the testing. Even next, one more concept we are having is design thinking to encourage the healthy eating habits in the students. Okay, then in empathize, again, we can understand the needs of the students. Again, we can pose some survey questions to them like, what do you typically eat in school? How satisfied are you with the cafeteria or the canteen options? Then what healthy foods would you like to see of more in the canteen? Such type of questions can be posted in the survey. Again, we can define the issues like what are the key problems in it. Then when we talk about, again, ideate is brainstorm a wide range of potential solutions to the problem. Like we can add the healthy options. We can conduct workshop for the students to develop healthy eating habits. Again, launch a healthy eating campaign. Again, the students will feel very happy if they do it. They can develop a prototype. For example, they can pilot the new food options, whatever they have taken from the students in the survey. Again, running a healthy eating workshop. Then even in testing, what we are going to measure the student satisfaction, and again we will collect the feedbacks and we see whether most of the students have adopted to healthy eating habits or not. Then there are many activities for design thinking for the students, like we can ask them to make up a metal mark, recycled robot collage. We can team up the students and we can give them such kind of activities. Over here, the students can use recycled materials to design their own robot and collage it. Again, the one more activity is a shoebox marble maze. So what the students can do is that is a marble run maze. So using their imagination, students can create wonderful routes for the marbles. Again, they can team up for this activity. Then the third activity is to make your own wildlife sculpture. So using the recycled materials, the students can go for this activity. Again, a jelly bean construction. So students can use jelly beans and toothpicks to create various constructions reflecting on which structures are the strongest and why. So here they can develop their critical thinking in this activity. Again, here are some again open-ended project ideas like the backpack project as we discussed previously. Then walking in someone else's shoes project, like how might we can design a new pair of sneakers for a friend. As we did for the backpack, we can also do it for a shoe. Then again, cardboard arcade project. How can we design a brand new cardboard arcade game? Again, the food waste project. Improve the food waste from school or home. Again, the lost and found. This is also a problem that occurs day to day in the school. So how we can improve the lost and found system of our school? The students can come up with various innovative solutions for this. So now it's your turn, dear educators. Now you have to think and share about the projects you can do with your students to enhance design thinking and innovation. So anyone from the audience out there would like to share the ideas or whatever you have implemented or you would like to implement in your classroom? So you all can raise your hands or you can type in the chat box. Any activities or projects for design thinking that you would like to take up or you have already done and you had a great response from your students with the activities? I think Mr. Ankit has raised his hand. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, sorry for the disturbance here, but am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, just after watching your presentation, I had an idea. Actually, every day in the evening, in the afternoon, I noticed that students are, because we have a big school, students are facing some problem of finding their bus. So
Okay.
what I'm planning that with the students, we can plan something like where is my bus. So every day, if the drivers are changing the location of the bus, the students will get some kind of notification at the entrance that okay, this is the new plan or new where the bus is standing. This conductor have to place a ticket there so that the students can see okay, my bus is there and they can easily find that. So although it's a rough draft, we will have to design it as per our audience and let's see what the outcome is.
Very good. Very superb. That's a superb task that you would take on with your students. And don't you think so students would be so happy to do it along with the teachers? I think teachers and
Yes, ma'am.
students do it
Yes,
together.
especially at a time of rain, it's they always get wet. So better is if the bus they can find the bus quickly, it will be helpful for them.
Very superb, superb. Anyone else would like to share out ideas? Y'all can raise your hands. We have got an answer in the chat box from Miss Samantha. Some students don't know their home address, middle school, hence in a subject like geography, a map of their locality with prominent landmarks would help. Superb. Even this is a very good idea and students would love to do this activity. Anyone else would like to share? Rupali ma'am has told in a picnic time what you want to do, that checklist. Superb. All the students together, they can brainstorm and we can come up with a list of what things they would like to do in a picnic. Gayatri ma'am, create a birthday card by using chocolate wrappers for your friend. That is also a very superb activity. Students would love to do that. Again, we have Miss Neetu. Substitute for chemicals with natural substances in the form of chemistry practicals. Yeah, that would also enhance the critical thinking of the students. Superb activity that would be. We have one more answer coming up from Miss Nitya. Students to take initiative for fast movement to assembly and back to class. I think this is the problem that all the schools might be facing. Fast movement in the assembly and back to the class. If everyone would sit and brainstorm for this activity, for this problem, we can come up with innovative solutions for our schools. Superb. Anyone else would like to share the activities they would like to do or they have already done with their students? You all can raise your hands and answer. Preeti ma'am has posted up how to be calm your mind techniques in crucial time or while you panic. This will help the students to be calm rather than react and respond. Yeah. Yes, a superb activity that would be for the students. Yes. Yeah, very nice. Anyone else would like to raise hand and answer to this question? Neetu ma'am has posted up, identify the shoes outside the library. And yeah, I think even this is a very common problem that everyone are facing, to identify the shoes outside the library and computer lab. We can come up with innovative solutions to this problem with our students. Yeah, definitely. Again, Miss Anita has put up for yoga. Ma'am, can you please define it briefly, Anita ma'am, regarding yoga?
Anita ma'am? Anita ma'am, you can define the answer as you have answered the yoga. Can you please define it? Okay. To have a patience and maintain the discipline. So that we have to use the yoga like that she is conveying, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, now we have got it. Preeti ma'am has told about the UKG kids pack their bags on their own.
Yes.
And they have practiced this on their own. Superb, superb. Then Bindu ma'am has told a group of students took leadership to discipline two naughty kids during the recess period by their innovativity. That is also a very superb. How to solve the problems in our day-to-day life in school. Then Nitya ma'am, students to take initiative to stop the student bullying. Yeah, even this I think most of the schools are facing. So why can't we involve students to solve this problem? Very good. Then Gayatri ma'am has told, present a situation in class and ask them to find different solutions and discuss which will suit for a particular problem at the end. Yeah, okay. Superb. Anyone else would like to share any activities or projects that you would like to undertake for design thinking? Any questions from the educators out there?
Participants, you can raise your hand. We will unmute yourself. We'll make you to speak and you have an interactive session with Amira ma'am. You can ask your queries. This is a questionnaire session. Now it's time for you. Here we have posted the feedback link and you can get the certificates also. We have posted in the chat box. Participants, do you have any questions? Yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable sessions. I'm sure your words of wisdom have added on the intellectual pursuits of all our esteemed participants. So participants, if you have any queries, you can ask your queries and by raising your hands, and you can have an interaction with our resource person, Amira Ansari. Participants, you have any queries, you can post it in the chat box also. Yes. Okay. Let's
can
move
go
on to the
winding up. No?
vote of thanks. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah, then let us wind up.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Ms. Amira Ansari, whose expertise and passion for education have truly inspired us today. Your insights into design thinking and its application in the classroom have provided us with valuable strategies that we can immediately apply to enhance our teaching practices and empower our students. Dear participants, kindly note the link for the certificate and feedback form which we have shared in the chat box. So as we have already posted in the meeting chat box also, so please, you are requested to fill up the form with the necessary details. So I am Malathi Karthikeyan, along with the Extra Mile Education and Training and BTech. We would like to thank Ms. Amira Ansari for sharing the great insights and the words of wisdom. I would like to thank Dr. Abdul Salam for his boundless support. Your support in promoting continuous professional development is invaluable to our shared mission of improving education. As we lead today, let us carry forward the principles of design thinking into our classrooms, inspiring students to think critically, solve problems creatively, and approach the challenges with confidence. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing the positive impact of today's learning in your schools. Thank you so much. Over to sir.
Thank you. And Extra Mile is very glad at this presentation. A big round of applause to Amira ma'am on behalf of all the educators. Beautifully, prepared the slides. You have done a very good research as well. And the format is wonderful. So, and the presentation as well. So thank you so much, Ms. Amira, once again, as you did for the last time. Last time also you did a good presentation. Now also we are very happy, equally happy with Maladi ma'am for your help and all the educators for your time. We have endless problems at school level, right? Maybe the problems are very, very small, but it's still, they are still continuing with no solution to it. It is time to ideate with the students. So it is better we use the design thinking format. We have seen that's a wonderful project that is done by the Australian school. So the bags, identical bags, and students, the little ones, they have solved the problems with their design thinking capability. Definitely, when we do, especially on bagless days, nowadays NCERT proposes bagless days for schools. So on these bagless days, we can plan this activity. We can take the students and brainstorm the issues and ponder over the solutions. In groups, they will work. They will collaborate. Thereby, they will bring out solutions and at the same time they will be enhancing their skills. That is actually 21st century learning. So we can have lots of skill development through design thinking. Thank you so much once again, Amira ma'am and Maladi ma'am and all the educators who have joined. Thank you, Biju sir, for joining. And all keep connected. We'll be doing our best. We have been doing, but we'll be doing again whichever topic, whichever is relevant to the education sector. Thank you so much. Keep connected. Good night, Amira ma'am and Malati ma'am and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.